In the book of Genesis, the Bible recorded that God took a rib from Adam and made Eve, and then he brought Eve to Adam. So Eve was called the bone after his bone and the flesh after his flesh. So the question for today's discussion is, do I have a soulmate? Like, is the concept of soulmate even real? I'm JD Royal, and if this is your first time coming across my space, you want to hit on the subscription button and the notification bell so that we can embark on this journey together. Jumping into today's topic, is the concept of soulmate real? Like, if the Bible told us that God took a rib from Adam and then he made Eve, so Eve was called the bone after his bone and the flesh after his flesh. Well, the concept of soulmate seems to suggest that there is one individual out there for you, which, if you check through scriptures, you get to realize that it is not so. It's actually not valid based on scriptures, because there's no place in the Bible that tells us that there is one individual for you, or that there is one individual made for one person. And this is the ideology behind it, right? A lot of people say things like, we're made for each other, made in heaven, and all those things. Well, as romantic as they might sound, it's actually scripturally not so correct, because if we say that there is one individual made for one person, so what happens in a situation where you walk up to the person that you say God made for you, and then the person rejects you? Are you saying that God's will is for you to stay single as a result of that rejection for the rest of your life? Think about it. What God does is not really matching two people, as in Jedida and X, together. No. What he does is your character traits, your personality, your being, and where you are headed to. And then this other person's character traits, this other person's personality, their own being, their whole entirety, and where they are also headed to. How aligned are both of you to each other, and how complementary are you in helping each other achieve your purposes and your goals? That is what God does when he leads a person to another as a spouse. So there is no one individual that is made for one person to say, this person was specifically made for me. Because, like I said, if one person was made for you and then the person rejects you, or the person dies, and then we've had instances where someone gets married and then a few years down the line or a few months down the line, their partner dies, and then at the long run they get married to another person. So are we saying that God made two different people for this one? Think about it again. You don't have a soulmate in the sense that there is one individual made for you, or there is one soul out there for you. But if you were interpreting the concept of soulmates in the sense that there is someone out there who complements your being, who complements the entirety of your existence and helps you to further achieve your goals or to fulfill your purpose, then you would be correct. Because the whole idea of a marital union is that two individuals come together with their different purposes, their different goals, their different destinations in life, but aligned. So they both have their personal goals, they both have their personal callings, they both have their personal purposes, but then there is a universal purpose, or there is a unifying purpose that they are both working towards. And for both of them to be working towards the same purpose, it means that there has to be an alignment even in their individual purposes, right? So the both of you have different purposes, but if you can make those purposes align to the extent to which they actually fulfill the purpose and the goal that God had in mind for two of you coming together, then you can fulfill purpose. But if both of us don't see how we can link those two together, then we cannot fulfill purpose together. So in that instance, no, we won't necessarily say we are made for each other. So like I said, there is no one person, there is no one soul that is out there that is made for you. What you have out there is complementary beings to your own existence. So it's not about the personality, it's not about the face. That's why you can have a picture of who you want to get married to, and then at the end of the day, God leads you to somebody who doesn't exactly fit the physical description that you had in mind. Because God does not look at the outward appearance, God looks at the heart. And if you are being led by just what you see, then you might end up with somebody who, like I said, won't help you fulfill purpose. So you don't have a soulmate, but you have a soulmate. Thank you.